Life with Pets. I thought that I would do a last live stream of the year. Can you believe that the year is already gone? I certainly can't. It has gone by so quickly, and we have just had an amazing time on YouTube. We've had a great deal of fun and we have grown incredibly. So it has been a lot of fun, and hopefully in 2018 things will get even better, which is amazing to me as well. So hey everybody, hi Alluring Betas, Daniel says hi, the Vlogging Guinea Pig says hi, Erica's Life says hi, Beta Xfish1 says hi. Hi everybody, thank you for joining us. This is going to be our last live stream slash video of the year, which I can't believe it. I can't believe that the year's gone by so fast, and like I say, we've just had so much fun doing YouTube. So the vlogging, there we go, comments back. The Vlogging Guinea says hey, happy new year. Happy new year to you too. Planetarium, hi Sheila, how are you doing? I am doing well. I am doing well. Oh, Dee from Down the Wormhole is here. Thank you for joining us, Dee. You finally caught a live stream. That's great. Yeah, I thought I would do early because I know that there are several other channels doing them today. So I just thought that it would be easier. Erica's Life says, I can't hear. Is anybody else having an issue with the audio at all? Can you all hear me okay or not? You can hear me okay? Ohio here, freezing. Love your channel and sharing with everybody. You know what? I am in Liverpool. Everyone says they can hear. Okay, I would suggest maybe just refreshing your page or just checking your volume then if you can't hear me, because everyone else seems to be able to. We are here in Florida, and believe it or not, it is cold here today as well. It is not very often it is cold, but today is really cold. Lee from London says, I love your channel too. Thank you very much. All right, so today I thought I would just go around the tanks and show you guys. Mine has not started yet. I think I must have missed a comment there. It's 25 degrees Celsius here. That's cold. That's really cold. I'm used to Fahrenheit, but I suspect, no, 25 is actually warm, I think. But I'm not sure. I'm not, we work in Fahrenheit over here, so no, I'm sure it doesn't. The gamers, I'm sure it doesn't. But yeah, it is cold for Florida. Let me clarify that. For Florida, it is cold. However, for a lot of the states, it is not cold at all. But for Florida, it's definitely cold today. So, okay, so let me turn this round and let's take a look at some of the tanks. In fact, to tell you what, let's start with the baby betas. Let's go and see if they're awake yet. All right, Kim says, your channel is great. I'm so glad I found you. Thank you very much. All right, so let's turn this around. My camera doesn't want to turn around for some reason. There we go. So here are our babies. I actually did a big clean on the tank yesterday, and they are doing really well. Let me see. In fact, there's one there. We've got one there. We had, I think it was 2, literally overnight change colour. And how have the babies been? They are doing really well. I am doing lots of large water changes, and that is really helping. There's one of the cellophane ones. We've now got, I think it's 4 cellophane, but it looks like they're all hiding right now. Do you know tail type? They should be half moon. There might be a few spade tails. Couldn't get my words out then. There might be a few spade tail in here. We'll just have to wait and see. The gene is there, but whether it comes out, I'm not too sure. So, hello from Singapore. Wow. Okay, all the baby betas, all the guppies are out, but the betas are not showing themselves right now. This one here, I don't know whether you can see, that one there is just starting to colour change. I don't know whether you can see it on its sides. It's vanished behind the wood now. unfortunately. They are playing hide and seek. There's a cellophane one right there, and then there's another one up there. And Abby F says, hey Sheila, hello from Illinois, big fan of yours, thank you very much. You have to go shovel snow. That is definitely something we don't have to deal with in Florida for sure. I cannot find, oh, there's 2 cellophanes here. Yeah, literally overnight. I think it's the one over there, changed colour. It was the same colour as this one here, and then overnight it became cellophane. So it is amazing to me how quickly they change colour. Absolutely amazing. And I do notice there are several others that are in the process. There's another one down there. Unfortunately, it does not want to focus on the smaller ones, but that one that's sort of dead center, that one is in the process of changing colour as well. So by tomorrow, that one is also going to be cellophane. And then this is probably the biggest one we have in the tank right now. And I think we're at about 15. When I did a clean yesterday, I did do a head count, and I think it was about 15. And then these are our guppy fry. I have just the females in here, and all the males I have actually put into this tank here. How long are you streaming for? I'm not sure. We usually only do about 15 to 20 minutes, and I am on a time frame today, so it probably is only going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, how many beta fry do you have? I think it's about 15. I did do a head count yesterday, and I think it was 15. If it wasn't 15, it was between 15 and 18, I think. Sadly, I did do a cull yesterday when I took a lot of the fish out, or when I took the big driftwood out, and I basically took everything out of the tank so that I could give it a really good clean, sort of all the bottom. And there were some that were extremely tiny, as in you could barely even see them. And so I decided that those were really struggling, and so I did actually cull those yesterday. So I think that we have, I think it's like say 15. I did keep 1 or 2 that don't have ventral fins, simply because it doesn't really affect them that much. It's more an aesthetic thing than functionality. So I am going to see how they get on, and we'll go from there, I guess. I think one of the cellophanes doesn't have ventral fins, and I think it was 1 or 2 of the smaller ones that I kept as well. So who are the beta parents again? Daffy who is here, she is mom, and then Bandit, who is in the other room, he is dad. So both of them are, well, she's more a marble really than a koi, because she's basically just like black and yellow. And then dad is a galaxy koi because he's got the blue in him, so he is red, blue and black, although he has got an awful lot of black on him. In fact, we could go through and take a look at him now. He has held his colours really, really well, actually. So here he is. Let's get down here, and this is dad here. So he is such a gorgeous boy, absolutely gorgeous boy. And although he has gone more black than when we first got him, he has held the pattern really well. So I'm hoping that we get that in the babies. He doesn't have much blue on him. There is a little blue, but not much. And there's only a little bit of red as well. So hopefully the babies will be similar, although obviously we'll just have to wait and see. That is a waiting game. So, and then these are our guppies, and I don't know if you saw the video from yesterday, but as you can see, the tank is very empty now. So what we do with our guppies is we do separate them to stop the females from getting pregnant, and to stop sort of them getting pregnant very young. And so we've taken out a lot of the baby guppies that were much bigger, and then in here now, I don't know whether you can see, there's a lot of sort of smaller ones. One of the bigger ones did escape, but I usually do separate them into male and females, which is why there's so many females in with the beta fish babies. How old is Bandit? Bandit will be a year old on the 6th of February, so he's almost a year, and he is a really big boy. He is the biggest beta that we have, although Theo is pretty big as well. I'm sorry about the glare there. Let me close the blind and see if that makes a difference. There we go. He is quite a big boy as well. He's hiding. Usually when he sees the camera, he just hides. He's a shy boy. Whereas Bandit, he does really, now he's making a liar out of me. Usually he's not too bad. In inches, how long is Bandit? Hard to tell. I've got no idea. I am hopeless with that sort of thing. But he's the biggest one that we have, and I think he was the second biggest in Kasha's spawn. He did come from Creative Pet Keeping, for those of you that don't know. Yeah, that's right, Alluring Betas. Bandit did come from Kasha. And I think he was at the second largest. I think Arnold, the one that she kept, was at the largest. And then I think Bandit was the second largest, and he is a big boy. We do hope to breed him again. We do have plans for that, possibly in the next sort of 5 to 6 months. Yeah, Jordan, he is gorgeous. We certainly were very fortunate to get him. He was a fabulous father. Yeah, he made the, for a beginner breeder, which for those of you that don't know, I am, he did make it really easy for me, because he just basically bred with the female. There were very few issues, which was great. So how long have you guys had betas? We have had betas for probably over 20 years, a long time. Which of the Rapashi that we sell would you recommend for betas? We use both of them. We use both the Brilliant Green and the, I am so sorry about the glare. Let me see if this is any better. Not really. Yeah, we use the Community Plus and the Solient Green. The babies are being brought up on both, so if you do buy from us, they will literally, they're going to be able to eat anything. Right now they are eating brine shrimp, bloodworms, Rapashi, gel food. They're also eating pellet food as well. We sort of have one that is a mixture of a lot of different types of pellets, and then I sort of grind it up into a fine powder. And so they will eat that as well. So if you do buy from us, I don't know how many we will have for sale when we're selling them, but if you do buy from us, they will basically come with anything. But we are selling the Rapashi, and we do have a sale on actually starting today, and it will end on New Year's Day, and the Rapashi is on sale. We have the 3-ounce bottle, which is this one. And then we also do the larger one as well of the Soylent Green. So we have them both in 3-ounce and 6-ounce. And this is a food I really highly recommend. It is a great food. And the reason that we have started selling it was because we talk about it so much and we get asked about it so much because all our fish eat it. The guppies absolutely love it. All our fish, even our puffer fish, will eat the Rapashi gel food. So that tells you just how good it is, because puffer fish are extremely picky fish. And so I think that, you know, if you're looking for a really good food for fish, Rapashi is definitely a good one for that. A lot of people will say, oh, it's so expensive. And to initially buy it, it is more costly than obviously pellet food and stuff like that. However, it does last a very, very long time. You can make it up and then store it in the refrigerator for 2 weeks, or you can make it up and store it in the freezer for up to 6 months. So one of these, which like the 3-ounce one, this would last us 3 to 4 months, if not more. It depends how often you feed it. We feed it a lot. So the small one would last us 3 to 4 months. The bigger one would last us a lot longer, and the beauty of it with it as well is it's great for shrimp and snails, and we also add in calcium to it as well. So how old is your oldest fish? Right now I think Theo is our oldest, and he is our oldest beta fish, and he is 2. The goldfish, they're all I think they're all 2 years old as well, except for the babies. The babies are a year old. How do you get rid of algae? It depends what the cause is. There are many different causes. of algae, so it really depends what the cause is. It could be overfeeding your fish, it could be too much light in the tank, it could be not enough water changes, so it's basically just trial and error of those things. So maybe reduce feeding and reduce lighting and see if that makes a difference. So my 3 males don't make bubble nests. I'm assuming if you're wanting them to breed, then it would help if they could see a female, but not all bettas do. In fact, Bandit never made a bubble nest. The only time he did was during a hurricane when all the filters were off, but prior to that he did not make a single bubble nest until obviously he was with the female, and then he bred. And Theo doesn't make bubble nests either, so not all bettas do. And a lot of people think it means that they're happy, but it doesn't really mean that. It is a natural thing that they do, so it's part of their nature to do that. So if they're not making them, you don't need to worry, oh, the fish isn't happy. That's not necessarily the case. All right, let's turn this around so you can see fish instead of me. All right, let's see what comments we've got going on here. Hunter says, the guppies I got from you are doing great and are beautiful. That is great to hear, Hunter. Have the tails started to grow out now so that you're getting some colour? Just let me know in the comments. This is one of our babies right here. He is 3.5 months old and just absolutely gorgeous. Hey Deborah, nice to see you. I hope the kiddos are doing well, and I hope they had a really good Christmas. Do you ship to the UK? Unfortunately, we can't do that. It's USA only, which is a shame, but that's just the way it is. It gets very expensive and very complicated with taxes and stuff, so we just can't do that. Yes, the tails are growing out and the male is turning red. That is good to hear. That is good. They will all have different patterns and different colours. We've got a few growing out now that I can't wait to see how they're going to turn up. Hi, where's the daddy guppy? Unfortunately, he died. We lost him a few days ago, and I did actually start looking up sort of more about the guppies and lifespans, and I was actually surprised to read. I thought guppies were quite long-lived, but it turns out that they're not. They live 1 year to 2 years. And we reckon he was probably a little over 1 year, so we were quite shocked that he did die very young, because obviously the females here are going very, you know, still going strong. And I do think that when we got him, he was probably older than what we were originally told, but obviously I can't actually prove that. So all right, let's have a look. Do bettas and guppies get along? Yes, for the most part. I mean, we've not really had any issues, but it really does depend on the betta fish. One of the reasons that we have put the female guppies in with the baby bettas is so that they're brought up with them, and I'm hoping that that will help so that people that want to put them with other fish won't have too many issues. But obviously we'll have to see if that works out. But we have not had any fish that where we've not been able to put them in with female guppies, but we have had a few that they couldn't do them with male guppies. So it really does depend on the actual betta fish. So all right, hi from the Philippines, love your videos, thank you very much. Pets and vlogs. All right, let's have a look and see. The gamer says, how much do they cost when you sell them? All the details are on the website, so if you just go take a look at the website and you'll be able to see from there. D from Down the Wormhole says, have you figured out jars for the males, or are you going to try and keep them in tanks? At this point, D, I think that we are going to go with tanks because we've got so few, and tank dividers, which for those of you that don't know, we do sell and not a problem. Then I think that we've already had for a while some plans in the works to do that instead, but I'm really not sure yet what we're going to do. I think that I am going to keep them in the tank as long as possible, and we'll just go from there. Right now there's virtually no aggression whatsoever, so I'm just going to wait and see. But it's only early days. In fact, they were 2 months old yesterday, so we're 2 months in and so far so good. I saw a comment there about the let me find it. Do redline barbs go with guppies? Let me go to the red lines. Let's move over to that tank. I would say no, probably not. They are such fast swimmers. They need a lot of swimming room as well. And I do think that they can get nippy. If you've got enough of them, they tend to just sort of squabble amongst themselves. But if you've got a lot of them, if you've not got enough of them, then they will start to sort of bite at other fish. They're very typical of a barb, and so these can actually get quite rambunctious in the tank. They dart around and swim around, and because they're middle swimmers, then they don't really interfere with the others, because the puffers tend to stay nearer the top, although they will sort of surf in and out of the plants. And then the harlequins that you can see there, they tend to stay at the top of the tank. And then our new fish is in here as well. For those of you that don't know, we do have a new fish, or a new species of fish that has joined our crew, although I haven't done a video on that one yet. He comes with quite a sad story, and that is a video I'm hoping to get out in the next week or two. I'm also hoping to get some more as well. All right, let's have a look at some of these questions. Hunter's Fish Room. Sheila, when I breed my koi betas, would you be interested in buying one when they get older? I'm not really sure at this point, because we already have sort of our plans set out for what we're wanting to do. So I would say when they're ready, by all means message me, and if we're in a position, then maybe. But usually we plan way ahead when it comes to anything to do with our fish and videos, and we usually at least 2 weeks, if not 4 weeks ahead of ourselves in what we're doing, and our videos loaded in, and our plans for our fish as well. So, but by all means, go ahead and message me when you're ready. Jordan says, Sheila, would you like one of my black orchid double ray crown tail males? Again, thank you, Jordan, but right now we don't have the space for anything else because of the plans that we have ourselves. So not at the moment, thank you very much. Do you have endlers? No, we don't have endlers. What plants go well with a smaller tank? Smaller being what size? Planet Earth. If you're talking for say 5 gallon, then it would be things like Anubias. They're a good one because they come in a variety of different sizes, and you can do some bigger plants as well, and then as long as you've got another tank to move them to, then they can go in that. But I would say probably Anubias, and then if you wanted to do maybe like moss balls, you could do moss balls, or Java moss. You could maybe attach some moss. We've got some moss there, sorry about the glare, I don't know whether you can see it, but it's just right there. And some there that attach to wood, so you can also do that as well. All right, let's see. What power strip are you using for your aquariums? We use a lot of different ones. We always get the surge protector ones. With being in Florida, we get a lot of thunderstorms and power outage during the summer months, and so we always do a surge protector one so that we protect them that way. But I don't actually have a specific one, but we do make sure that we buy a good one basically for that. How many gallons should my beta have to swim in? The sort of answer that we usually would give is 2.5 gallons is minimum, and that is usually what I would say to most people. However, I personally have moved to 5 gallons. Having seen me get so active, I'll show you our 5 gallon. In our 5 gallon, I just think that they do need more space than people think they do. They do enjoy swimming, and so I would say 5 gallons if you can do 5, but 2.5 is absolute minimum. Also, the bigger the tank, the more stable the water parameters as well, so that does make a difference. This tank is, like I say, it's a 5.5 gallon, and it's our snail breeding tank. Yes, there are a ton of snails in here, and we do have to do a lot of water changes to keep the water parameters good on this tank, but we don't have any issues with it really. So which is the easiest floating plant to keep in a 5 gallon? I would say frogbit, which is what we've actually got in this one. I've also got it in this one here, which you can see, and then we've also got it in our 10-gallon as well. So we do actually sell our frog bit, and I have been getting a lot of messages on it, and we will have it for sale. It won't be, where are we? It won't be next week, it will be the week after that. Can 2 female betas go in the same tank? Yes, if you're going to divide the tank. If you're not dividing the tank, then no. All they will basically do is fight. So you need a divided tank similar to this one here, and then you'd be able to put 2 fish in. But if it's just a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon or whatever, then you would need more than that. Oh, Theo's come to say hi. Sadly, Theo never shows up on camera. He is a very, very deep blue, and he was actually I say koi. He was very cellophane when we got him, and the difference is just unbelievable because obviously he's gone a very solid colour. So do you sell sponge filters for a 29-gallon? No, we don't. We do have some that I think are rated up to 15-gallon, which is the XY180 on our website, but we don't actually have them for any more than that. So I'm sorry, we can't help you on that one. Can I put a male beta in with red line barbs? Absolutely not. No, they would definitely. With the red line barbs, you need to do. I have just purchased one of each 3 ounce of Repashy food off your website. I'm excited already. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Okay, back to the question. Can I put a male beta with red line barbs? No, absolutely not. The thing with the red line barbs is I think I might do a species profile on them actually. They are a stunning fish. I think we can probably all agree on that. They are an absolutely stunning fish, but they do get large, and I don't know if it shows up on here, but these are already, the bigger ones, they're already about 4 inches long, and they get 5 to 6 inches. They also swim very, very fast. They swim crazy fast, and they can get very nippy. So fish that are much more slow moving will not do well with them at all, and beta fish would be in that category, in that they couldn't swim away fast if they needed to. Also, these fish need a large tank as well because they love to swim so much and they love to swim fast, which right now they're not doing, but they normally are. Then they need a minimum 55-gallon tank, preferably bigger, because they do need to be kept in groups of 5 or more. If you have any less than 5, they do tend to get very, very nippy amongst themselves, and they will fight like crazy. We have experienced that firsthand, and it was not fun. In fact, it was extremely stressful. This one here, which has just swum away, he's our biggest, and I know that it's not showing up on camera, but he is at least 4 inches in length, and they eat a lot as well, so you do need to be able to feed a lot of food. All right, let's see. What plants do you have in this tank? It's a lot of Anubias. There's Bacopa in the back corner, and then we've got Amazon sword and some more Amazon sword, and then this one here is the crypt. They use fluval stratum for all. No, actually we don't. Say no, we don't, that's not true. This tank is eco complete. If I could do it again, I would use fluval stratum, I have to be honest. I have found that the eco complete for us personally has not been as good of a substrate as the fluval stratum, but that's just my personal opinion. So I would actually go for fluval stratum again. The only thing is it's so expensive, especially if you're doing a really large tank. Let's give the goldies some time here. Let's give them some love, shall we? They don't get shown that much. This guy is still doing fairly well. He has changed colour so much. Believe it or not, he was a deep grey blue when we got him. And he's not doing too bad. He has good days and he has bad days, but he is still with us, thankfully. And this is one of our babies, and this is the other baby, and as you saw there, the difference in size is crazy. This one has grown a lot deeper and sort of has stayed not as big in length, whereas the other one is probably as deep, but is obviously a lot longer. Can pothos be submerged in water? There are different opinions on that. We have ours isn't submerged. It might look like it is, but it's not. It's actually down the back of the tank. So a lot of people say yes you can, a lot of people say no you can't because it will die. We haven't done it simply because I don't want it fouling up the water and I don't want to take that risk. So they are so big. Yeah, they actually are really big. He is probably about 8 inches including his tail, and this one here is probably around 4, and Ollie there is about 5 inches. So yeah, they are a good size, but this one here is the biggest and he is adorable. He just sadly has issues with swimming, so we have to be very, very careful with his eating, and he's obviously transitioning colour to white. So he's going to be a lemon head when he's finished with his colour transition. So any tips on breeding koi betas? I would just say to, if you can find a pair that you know the parents are koi, then that is better, just simply because then you know that the genes are maybe a little more stable to start with. However, it doesn't always work that way, but if you can find them, I mean, the likes of, we knew for certain that Bandit obviously came from koi parents because he came from Kasha, but we don't know the history of Daffy. And so, you know, we may, who knows what colours we're going to get, but then I'm planning on breeding again, and that will help to make the line a little more stable. So if you can be sure of the parents, then that does help. But also know that just because you breed 2 koi fish doesn't mean you're going to get koi babies. That's what a lot of people seem to think, that, oh, I've bred 2 koi, so I'm going to get koi, but that's not necessarily the case. You could end up with all red or all blue, and I would say the biggest thing is make sure that you've got homes for them or places for them to go, because you could end up with a lot of babies. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Okay, Sheila, if I set up a pea puffer tank, what size should I use? I personally would do no less than a 10-gallon. And the thing with pea puffers is, do your research, because they can be very nippy. There's a lot of people that have been getting them. They've become very, very popular. And as a group, they can actually get very nasty and very nippy. Ideally, it needs to be a species-only tank. Now, I'm not saying that every puffer can't live with other fish, or every group of puffers are going to be nippy and not very nice, but overall it does seem to be an issue that people do have. So I would say do a lot of research before maybe jumping into to puffers, maybe just 1 in a tank, in which case you could do a 5-gallon, although they do love to swim a great deal, so there's also that. So personally, I wouldn't do anything less than a 10-gallon. All right, what was the one? I have read about males having an egg spot. Is that true? Yes, it can be true. It's not very common, but yes, it can be true. Turbofish says, good morning. Good morning, Turbofish. Have you ever kept African cichlids? Yes, we did many years ago. I enjoyed it to a point, but they just weren't the fish for me. So we've not done cichlids this time. All right, guys, I think that I am going to end it here. So we do have our sale on our website. It's going to run through to January 1st. So if you're wanting anything, go ahead over to that. I will leave a link to it in the description box below. So that you can go on over and take a look at the stuff that we sell. We do a lot more than just dividers. I think sometimes people think that we only sell dividers, but we don't. We do other things as well. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us, and I hope you all have a wonderful and safe new year, and we will see you in 2018. All right, bye, guys.